Hello and welcome back to another episode of Talking with Tanya. Today I have one of my best friends, my brother, my family. This is Gonzo, and we're just gonna talk about our friendship, how we met, and just a bunch of random stuff. To be honest, we've been like really close for the last 2 years. We met through a mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's lived with me ever since, and it's been pretty cool. Like honestly, it's a blessing to live with your friends. I really do think so. But oh, what was your first impression of me?
When I met you, I remember thinking they have another sister because I never saw you ever.
That's crazy.
Like when you tell me you were in your room the whole time, I was like, "Where?"
That's crazy.
Because I had no idea.
You know what? I feel like that. Like my past is such a blur. Like I don't really remember much of it.
I remember the first time we hung out.
How old were we?
I must have been like around 19, maybe 20.
Yeah, I think I was like 17, 18, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I think you had a friend over. There was somebody else present.
Yeah.
And then we were hanging out with John, which is who we know each other.
Oh, yeah, our mutual friend, yeah.
And I remember I was just, in those days, I was a lot less mature. And I didn't, I didn't really know what to and not to share.
Yeah.
And so sometimes trying to be funny, I would bring up things that maybe shouldn't be brought up.
Yeah. It's okay, you learned. It's okay.
I just remember John would be like, who needs enemies? And then you just looked at me like, this is crazy. Like, I remember being like, I feel like I'm at a comedy stand-up show, and you're just loving it. You're like, this guy's crazy.
I just remember thinking, like, this kid's bad. He gets into some shit. I could tell.
Yeah, in those days, I was a lot more turbulent.
But what did you think of me? I was just like, what?
I remember having a curiosity about you.
Oh,
I remember being like, I know there's more to her.
Ah, I like that.
But I remember you were very like soft-spoken, and you were just laughing like crazy. That was like your main engagement.
Oh,
you were just like laughing.
That makes sense. I see that.
I think you asked maybe a couple questions just to tease John, about like certain facts.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I just remember I was making a bunch of people like I was just trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think we work well as friends? Like, what makes our connection like good friends?
I think one of the things that helped us bond is the combination of similar experiences.
Oh, I like that.
And also, I don't know if maybe that is related somehow to similar interests. Like maybe we have the interests
that
we
makes
do
sense.
because of the experiences we have, or they just both line up. But yeah, I remember you talking a lot about like moments that you didn't like to have experienced, or where you felt like you weren't able to really voice your opinion on things. Or
you felt that way sometimes?
Absolutely. I've had plenty of humbling experiences in life.
If anything, though, I feel like you voiced your opinion a lot when you were younger.
Too much when I was younger.
You see, me not so much, but you.
But yeah, I had my stop doing that experiences. I had plenty of those where I was like, maybe I should think more and talk
before
less.
I speak. That's funny.
Yeah.
But I also think what I like about us is that we're both don't take things too serious. I think that's what you also taught me, is like just to go with the flow more. I feel like I was a lot more anxious at the beginning of our friendship. You don't think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think like, this guy feels like the universe is gonna take care of him. I need to start thinking like him.
But yeah, I just I feel like that's something we both value and have tried in any of our friendships, is just to be more supportive, nurturing, and not judge. Because if not with your inner circle, then what is your safe space?
I like that. Another thing is I really do enjoy being able to communicate any kind of issues with you. It's never a problem. We're always able to communicate so well and like actually come to like a solution.
And it takes effort. I feel like that's why you don't really get that from everybody. Because it takes effort, to stop and think about what the other person's feeling, what you're feeling. Yeah. Because it's easy to just react to situations the way you might normally react, but that doesn't mean the same thing for every person.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we were getting to know each other, I would have to think about what jokes to make or not, because I didn't want you to think I felt a certain way, if that makes sense. Or anything that might make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. What do you think what do you think makes the difference between just a regular friend and like a best friend?
I feel like the word friend is used too loosely these days.
Oh.
I feel like it's easy to say, "Oh, that's my friend," when a lot of times people,
especially as an adult. When as a kid, you're like, "Oh, that's my friend from school." But like as an adult, like who? Maybe coworkers could be your friend.
But for me specifically, if you're my friend, you're my best friend. I don't have any in betweens.
Okay.
Like I like to treat my friends like my family.
So you're either acquaintance or you're
a best friend. An acquaintance, we could be friendly. I could probably go get drunk with you at a cookout or something. Yeah. But like, I'm not telling you any secrets.
Yeah.
Any important life updates.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know you well enough. I probably don't know too much
so
about
those are all the traits you can tell that what's a best friend.
Like that all the friends that I'm invested in, yourself included, like we know insecurities, passions, goals, things that matter to each other.
And what I love about that is that we don't judge each other. Yeah. Yeah, and we're there for each other. And also like hearing your perspective. There's so many times where I feel like, I didn't think about it like that. So it like opens my eyes a little bit. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Have you ever dealt with like competition of like with friends?
Yeah. For sure.
I know I have, but I want you to go first.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I've been the most jealous over a male best friend than over relationships or women or anything like that. One of my best friends, John, when we were in high school, I used to be very possessive and jealous of him.
Of him? What do you mean of him?
Or like jealous of his time.
Oh, okay.
So like if I saw him talking too long or laughing too hard with somebody, I would go over and be like, "What's up, man?" And I would like integrate myself into the conversation and find a way to like, and it wasn't always a conscious decision.
Yeah.
But like one of the best.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah. Like, is he really
Do you
that
need
funny?
my approval?
Let me hear the joke. Like, yeah. And it's just because we had like the best quality time. We were always together, so sometimes I'd be like, "All right, you're creeping into my time now," Like he only has an hour for the public, and the rest is family. I'm like,
I love that.
But yeah, I remember one time we went to this guy's house, and John was just super like vibing with him. Like he was like laughing and all this other stuff, and I was like, he only laughs like that with me, Like I was like, why is he? And I come to find out this man's name is Andres. So now we share a name. He knew an Andres before me. And I could tell he did not want me at his house. Like he was being polite.
Who,
and
Andres?
everything. Yes, because he knew like what I meant to John.
Ooh.
But the whole vibe, the whole time, I could feel it from him, where he was like, "I'm Andres number one."
Oh wow.
And in my head, I was like, "Quality over time, baby." You know what I mean? Like you might have known him in high school, but I know things about him that you don't.
Dang, that's crazy.
But looking back now with more maturity and stuff, I don't feel good about a lot of those times. I feel like I should have been.
How would you handle the situation as yourself today?
Well, one of the things that life has taught me too since that time is that nobody is yours. Like even in a romantic relationship, when you see somebody say "you're mine" and "I'm yours" and all that, that is a conditional statement.
Yeah.
Like it's subject to change. With anything, people fall out of love or they offend each other or irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
And so it's conditional, right? It's like you have to work on it. Any relationship, a friendship, or anything, you have to, it's like I've heard like romantic people, they fall in love with each other every day, or at least that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Again and again. I feel like it's the same thing with a friendship. You want to constantly remind each other of why you're in each other's lives.
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
Like bringing value or support or something.
Yeah, because I do feel like there's been times where you just start to feel like the effort is like starting to die down, and you start to feel like, okay, this is starting to feel like more work than what it used to. It's not as easy as it used to be. So now you start to think, well, is this worth my time anymore? Is this going to benefit my growth?
Yeah. With all that in mind, I've learned also that the number one way to lose somebody or push them away is to force yourself on them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Your attraction or hold, for lack of a better phrase, on somebody, whatever it is that keeps them around, it shouldn't be overbearing.
Yeah.
Because anybody can feel trapped, even one sibling to another.
Yeah.
So my approach now would be a lot more relaxed. I would give him his space. I'd be happy for him that he's enjoying another person's company. Because another thing too that comes with maturity is realizing like you're not all just a bunch of NPCs in my video game. You know what I mean? You're your own people. You have your own things. And the same way that I would want him to respect me hanging out or vibing with William, for example.
Yeah.
I would, I should reciprocate that. So, yeah, even if I did feel really jealous, which I still do at times, I would take a step back and just do my best to not fall into the cliche of like being overbearing or possessive.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like that would only push him away, and that would be a stress that he would have. Because when I'm with him, I can't be with anybody else.
Oh.
And you don't want friends like that.
Yeah.
You don't want friends that can't be around other people.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't think I've ever felt jealous towards or competitive. If anything, I feel like there was like tension between certain people to gain someone's attention. But I just feel like that's too much work. I'm like, I'm not going to compete for your attention. I'm going to be myself. And whether you choose to see that, then I know it's like, that's a connection I'm willing to put my time and effort in.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's also another aspect of it too. Is like, you don't want to be doing too much, you know?
Yeah, because that gets exhausting too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, apologizing as a friend. Like, do you think that's hard? For me, so personally, even growing up, saying I'm sorry was so hard for me. We never apologized. It's always like, I'm right to the very end, to like my grave.
Yeah.
You know, I take this to the grave. Even if you show me the facts and I'm wrong, I'm still not going to apologize.
Yeah.
That was the environment growing up.
Deny.
Yeah. And I remember, so that when I started getting more comfortable with saying I'm sorry, my brother, was Marcos, he was like coming in my room and he put the dogs in my room. Right. And I was away at like outside at the chicken coop or something. I come back and I'm tripping because I thought they ate my McDonald's McGriddle or whatever, burrito, whatever I had. And I didn't realize that I moved it. And when I looked in the bag, I was like, oh, they fucking ate my freaking food. And I go storming in his room. I'm like, hey, how could you put the dogs in my room? You know, like they ate my food. And he comes in, he's like, where is it? And I was like, I thought it was in my bag. It should be in my bag. He's like, are you sure? Like, where's the box? And then I'm like, looking for it, and I'm like, oh, it's right here. And I just felt so embarrassed. I was like, I need to apologize. He like left. No, before he left, he's like, you don't ever talk to me like that.
You don't ever talk to me.
Yeah, no, he said, you better watch how you talk to me. And I was like, then he left. And I just sat with myself and I said, he's right, you know? And as uncomfortable as I feel right now to go to knock on his room and tell him I'm sorry, I have to do it. So then I knocked on his room and he's like, what you want? You know, he's like, and I'm like, hey, you were right. I shouldn't have talked to you like that. And I'm sorry. You know, he's like, all right, we're good. You know?
That's funny.
Yeah. But I think that was the start of me learning to say I'm sorry, you know? And I think there's been times where I've even apologized to you, like, hey, I shouldn't have came out at you like that. I'm sorry. You know, it's just, this is how I was feeling and I reacted. So yeah, I think I'm way more comfortable apologizing now.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about apologizing?
I would say just like you, I struggled with it early on. Like one of my first best friends I can think of was William, and there was a lot I never apologized for.
Oh wow!
Because he was like a couple years younger than me, so I was like his older brother when we would hang out, and I obnoxiously took it upon myself to give him the big brother experience.
Oh.
So sometimes I would tease him a little heavy, or like, you know, just little rough love as an older brother. But fortunately through him, I learned, well, you learn something from everybody.
Yeah.
And from him, I learned to be a lot more calm, a lot more respectful and patient. To this day, it still amazes me how patient he was with me because he was the younger one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, even with him, it was more so later on that I learned to apologize. But I was getting it through my mind during that period. And I would say where I really got a grasp on it, and obviously we're always learning and getting better at things, but when I really feel like I could say it turned, was with John. Because John and I had some crazy fights. Like, as passionate and as close as we were, there was also that potential for like a misunderstanding here and there.
Yeah.
And I learned with him, first and foremost, to communicate a lot better. Because it's so easy to get caught up in pride or the way that something was delivered or said to you.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about, like, what is he feeling right now? What am I feeling? What do we think is happening? And then when you think about it from a more logical point, it lets you take a moment to think about it, right? Because you think about what you might be insecure or triggered by.
Yeah.
And then if you step back and think about it rationally, you go, well, this is one of my best friends. What are the odds that they're doing this maliciously?
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it.
And then that lets you take a breath and be like, okay, well then where's the misunderstanding?
Yeah.
And he was one of my first friends where we would have just paragraph text, or we would call.
No.
And if we had a fight, we would have like a 3-hour discussion about it. Like, this is how I felt. And then he would clarify, well, that's not what I was trying to make you feel. I would never make you feel this way. And then it made it a lot simpler, and before you know it, you're exchanging I love yous, and like, I didn't mean that,
that's
and
cute. Yeah,
like, I'm never gonna come at you like that. You know, if we ever have this weird misunderstanding again, then we'll just talk it out again. You know. But it takes a lot of effort, because in the time, somebody can say something really offensive either direction, and then it's easy to just be like, you know what, forget that person, and then that's done with, and you can lose a friendship over nothing.
That's true.
And that was one of the other lessons I picked up out of friendship, was with John. I was like, it's important to put in that effort for communication and understanding with people that matter to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's another distinction between good friends and not, right? If I had a falling out with somebody at work, fuck them. Like, I'm not invested. I don't know. Like, you know, it's probably not worth my time to figure it out with them. And also, since I'm not like, I try not to be a vindictive person or like hold grudges and stuff. It's easier to just be like, who cares? Whatever the misunderstanding was, you know? Anything short of him putting his hands on me doesn't need an immediate response.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, like, why do you think it's hard to make friends now as an adult? Okay, so you want me to start off?
Sure.
Personally, like, I feel like as the more I'm growing into myself, you know, being my authentic self, and like not caring what people think about me as much anymore, I feel like people like that, you know? I'm also very understanding, not judgmental, and I feel like a safe space for people. But I don't necessarily always feel that in return. So that's where I get a little like worried about like continuing friendships. I definitely had people who were like, oh, we should hang out, we should kick it. And I'm like, you may feel that about me. I'm not sure if I feel that about you, you know? And I think I struggle with like rejecting people because I hate myself feeling rejected. So that's like something I struggle with as well when it comes to making friends with adults. But also just like, where do you find like really quality people where you have common interests and, you know, they reciprocate the safe space? Like, I just don't know where you find that, you know?
I would say I've been fortunate that I would say pretty much all of my best friends, it's happened.
How many do you have? I feel like you have a lot.
Not that many. I would like to call Tali, you know, his sister, a best friend, but I would say, you know, Jacob, John, you know, William, their brothers.
Me.
You, Marcos, like Mayo. But
that's
like,
a lot, Mayo.
I guess.
Mayo's my best friend too.
But you know, just people that I see like family and stuff. But I've been fortunate that it's always kind of developed organically. Like, we'll just have those like movie moments where we're just like, oh, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
And then cool. But I've also had things not work out. Like, I've looked for friendship in the wrong places. A lot of the time, it's been work. You know, you think you could trust somebody or be more of yourself or whatever, right?
Sometimes you learn the hard way, right? Where you trust somebody and then they like betray you.
Well, when I worked at Chipotle, I had a guy share with me that he was breaking all these rules.
Ooh.
And in my head, I had just gotten there, so I didn't want to stir up anything.
Oh wow!
Because maybe they have a way of doing things, whatever, right? Because I've experienced that in different environments where you try to maybe come and do the right thing or fix something, and that's the way they like doing things, and now you don't fit.
Yeah.
In the equation, you know, like you're kind of putting your own foot in your mouth. So I kind of let it be and all that. But I remember later on, I bent a rule, and he told on me.
No way.
And I couldn't believe it because I was like, dude, I could get you fired.
What? That's
and
crazy.
I was just so blown away. But luckily, I would say both my mother and my uncle at a young age tried to teach me the lesson of the uselessness of aggravating people or like reciprocating or spreading negativity.
Yeah.
The way that my uncle would say that lesson in a phrase was, he would be like, why would I poison my heart over their trespasses?
Yeah.
Right? And then my mom told me also, like, there isn't a more miserable existence than somebody who's always preoccupied with vendetta or getting back at people or holding on to things.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it go. I didn't think it was worth my time or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, people are weird. Sometimes you feel like people are cooler than they are in public environments like work or school.
End up showing their true colors, huh?
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. I mean, I think this is pretty much it for the most part. You know, is there anything else you want to add? Okay, so this is it. You know, for the episode. You know, thank you, Gonzo, for coming on. I appreciate you, homie. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so thank you for listening. Take care of yourself and peace out. Oh, you gotta do it with me.
Okay.
Okay. No, I go like this. Thank you for listening. No, I go like this. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Peace out.